Hello, good evening, everyone. How are you? Can you
Hi
all hear
everyone.
me? You can unmute your mics or write in the chat box.
Yes, we have a
We
thumbs
can
up.
hear you.
Good. All right, so we're going to give everybody 5 minutes, maybe less, to see that everybody is here, and then we would start. So let's go.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening from Malta too.
Hi, it's nice to see some faces too. Everyone, you're welcome to unmute yourself. You're welcome also to use your cameras. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for everybody to join. Hi from Finland. Okay, I guess we gave everybody 3 minutes to join. It's time that we start. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for taking the time to be here. It's always great to see you, and always wonderful to see some returning also participants. And we are going today to host Cassie. She's from France, and she's joining us for our webinar on career path in cybersecurity. So I'm going to leave the floor to Cassie to present herself and then start the webinar. Like usual, if you have any questions, I will be here in the chat and I will be answering. And I see amazing locations in the chat. So I'm here in Brussels, and Cassie is in France. And Cassie, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Manel. Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm so happy to be with you today for this Women for Cyber session. My name is Cassie, and I'm the Chief Product Officer at Mailing Black. It's a French cybersecurity company. And today, I'd like to take you on a journey into the world of cybersecurity, but from a different angle. So we are not going to talk about hacking, ransomware, or firewall, not directly at least, but instead we are going to explore what it's like to work inside a cybersecurity company and the variety of career, technical, non-technical, that exist within it. And most importantly, I will introduce you to some of amazing women I work with every day at Mailing Black. who show that there is no standard path to succeed in this field. Whether you are a student, a career switcher, or already in tech, I hope you will leave this session with a clear vision and a clear idea of how you might belong here too. So this is the agenda, a quick overview of what we will cover today. So first, I will give you a short introduction of Men in Black, who we are, what we do, and why we do it. And then I will share a bit about my own career path, which I hope will help demystify what it means to have a career in cybersecurity without being a developer or an engineer. And finally, we will look at some real role filled by real women across our team, from communication to AI. I will also be launching two poll during the session in the chat. So just to get to know you a little bit better and make it more interactive. In introduction, let's just begin with a little bit of context. As many of you know, women are underrepresented in tech and even more so in cybersecurity. In France, in 2024, only 29% of tech professionals were women. And when you look specifically at cybersecurity job, the number drop even further to around 16%. And that's just not a pipeline problem, it's also a perception problem. Cybersecurity can seem intimidating, technical, or exclusive, and that's something we need to change, and we are working on it. At Mailing Black, 42% of our team are women. That's not perfect, I know, but it's well above the average. And these women aren't only in support role or marketing role, as you can see in a lot of organizations. They are product, they are AI, they are UX, they are marketing, sales, customer relation. They are leaders, they are managers, innovators, and experts. So today's I want to help challenge the stereotype that you have to be a tech geek to work in cybersecurity. So we're gonna launch the first poll because I would like to get to know you better. So in the chat, you can vote. Manel will launch it. I would like to know if you are currently working in cybersecurity or not, with different options. Yes, in a technical role. Yes, but in a non-technical role. Not yet, but I want to. And no, I work for another file. So you will see it in
Yeah,
the
so
chat.
just a moment and you will have it and you can vote on it. I'm writing down, you don't have to take notes, I'm writing down everything and you'll have it in a moment. Okay. Um,
It will help me to drive the webinar. So
yeah. Okay, it's coming.
okay, Champa student in cybersecurity.
You got me all
Sorry, there are some background noises. So if you could please, if you're not speaking, not
I found the one.
yes. Okay, sorry.
So you're on mute.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. And here we go. So please vote, guys. It's not a link. You will find it directly a poll.
Yes, we can
It
see it right
appears to
now.
everyone now, I guess.
Yes, thank you, Manel. Oh, okay.
We have the majority is non-technical, I see.
Yes, but the majority is yes.
Yeah, that's right. So we have 70% yes in technical roles.
Okay.
and 53% yes in non-technical role, and 33% no, not yet, but I want to.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer. It's great to see the diversity here. I
Yeah.
hope no matter where you are starting, you will find something today that speaks to you.
We have an interesting one from Anna Maria. She said, "Can we have another option?" Sort of. Well, that's a good
Didn't.
one.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so Mailing Black, who are we? Just a quick introduction. Mailing Black, it's a French cybersecurity company based in the south of France, in Marseille. We've been around for over 20 years. We've started in 2003 with one goal to protect organization against email-based threats like spam, phishing, and malware. So today we protect more than 22,000 organizations across France, mainly, but also in Europe. That include companies, but also hospitals, schools, public institutions. And we believe that cybersecurity should not be reserved for those who can afford the most complex tools. It should be simple, accessible, and adapted to people who aren't cybersecurity experts. So today we have four solutions to protect the email, the password manager, and that can train and educate the collaborator in companies to cybersecurity. So, as I said, our mission is very clear, but we have a huge team behind all those products and those clients. And we have different departments. So, we're going to have a look at what it is to work inside a cybersecurity company. Many people imagine it's all developers and cybersecurity analysts, but in reality, it's much more diverse. At Mailing Black, for example, we have teams for product, for UX, for marketing, communication. We have a team for sales and customer relation. We have team for AI research. We have a team for finance, HR, legal, administration, and of course, we have a huge team of tech and development. That means whether you study business, communication, design, law, or AI, there could be a place for you. And this is something that I've discovered when I've joined the company because I have a background in cybersecurity, in sales and business. Sorry, so I'm just gonna tell you a little bit more about my own journey because I think it reflects what many of you might be feeling: a mix of curiosity, a bit of uncertainty, and the desire to make it a real impact. So I studied in a business school. I have a background in project management, and I started out in consulting at Wavestern, where I advised company on their IT strategy. And then I joined Mailing Black in 2021 as a product marketing manager, and I became a chief product officer in 2022. I don't have a technical degree. I don't code. And yes, I lead our product team, which means working daily with our developers, researchers, designers, and users and clients to imagine the future of our solutions. My path show that you can find your way into cyber through empathy, willingness to learn, and not just through code. When I joined Men in Black, I wasn't coming from a technical background. I didn't have a cybersecurity certification and I wasn't a developer, but I joined the company with an open mind and the desire to understand. And as I started as a product marketing manager, which is a strategic position across the product, I was in charge of the competitor analysis, the market analysis, the pitch, and the pricing strategy. So it leads me to understand much more the cybersecurity ecosystem. And I discovered that it was much more complex than what I thought at first. I had to analyze all the competitive environment or clients' pain points, the evolution of the threats, and the strategy of go-to-market and sales enablement. At this time, I had to develop a strong grasp as the technology behind of solution. I spent time learning how email filtering works, how threats like phishing and ransomware spread, and how protection system respond. And I didn't learn that from a textbook. I just learning on the job, talking to developers, asking questions to our CISO, reading documentation, testing our products, and doing a lot of late night research online. And this learning curve was step, yes, but also incredibly empowering. And that's something I want to emphasize today. You don't have to know everything on day one. If you are curious, humble, and driven, you will find a place in your industry. So just for the next part of the webinar, we're gonna launch a second poll because I will present you different role and I will read also the text in the channel. So what kind of role are you most interested in? You're gonna have the poll with different options, technical like developers, AI, cyber analysts, product or UX, for example, marketing communication, sales or customer success, or if you're still figuring out, you can also apply for this option in the poll.
Um, just a moment, and you have the poll. um, I'm facing some difficulty with the poll because I prepare it and then it keeps on disappearing. So I'm trying to figure that out. Just a moment.
I'm just reading, Anna Maria. It's really interesting what you are explaining because I've launched a product which is an e-learning for the collaborators in company, and it's really difficult to find different experts to create the content to educate the collaborator in the different field. So, for example, have the right content in cybersecurity for health is definitely different than an industry company, for example. So yes, the option sort of can sometimes mix a lot of different expertise in the cybersecurity field. So yes, you have the pool right now. Okay, still figuring out half.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great because I'm gonna show you different job at Mailing Black, and I will finish with the tech one. Legal background here. Okay. Okay, perfect. 42% and 50% for dev AI. So in the development team, we have one girl only on 22 men. But on the data team, we have 3 or 4 girls now. So I will show you the path of Clara. Okay, so let's go. I will start with a key, but often underestimated a role of communication. So this is Justine. She's in charge of our global communication strategy. Her job is to shape how Mailing Black is perceived externally by client, by partner, by media. So she coordinates our brand voice, manage the press relation, and she organizes events. But beyond that, she is also helping to translate complex cybersecurity topics into clear, accessible messages that resonate with all kind of audience. So her mission is to make cybersecurity understandable and visible through content, event, media relation, and brand storytelling. She's not a tech expert, but she's a real storyteller. In cybersecurity, trust is everything. And communication, it's how we build that trust. So it's how we reassure clients, it's how we educate our user and position ourselves as thought leaders. So Justine works hand with hand with product team to ensure we are not just building great tools, we are also telling the right story about them. Then I will introduce you Aurélie. So Aurélie, she works in our sales administration team. In French, it's known as ADV in French company. So her mission is to ensure a smooth and professional experience for our client after they signed. It may sound like a back office job, but it's really essential to our customer satisfaction. She handled everything from the customer onboarding, invoicing, payment flow to manage renewal and contract modification. Her work is key to client satisfaction and long term loyalty. But her role will also include a lot of internal coordination. She works with the sales team, the financial department, the customer support to make sure no detail is missed. She needs to be really organized, responsive, and able to deal with unexpected issues, of course, like a billing anomaly or a client in distress after being after a cyber attack, for example. It happens a lot of times for us. And Aurélie is often one of the first contact new customers has after signing. She embodies our value of care, clarity, and reliability. And that's also what cybersecurity is about, as I said, trust. Then we have a full girl team in my team. It's the team of UX UI designer team. It's led by Clara. Clara, she's a Spanish girl and she has 3 years in her team. Laura, Flora, and Marianne, and their role are crucial because no matter how powerful a cybersecurity tool is, if it's useless if people cannot understand or use it properly. And it's a huge challenge in cybersecurity tools. If you've already used them, it's often created for men's and it's often created for technical people behind the solution. But in the company, you don't always have a technical person who will be in charge of the cybersecurity tools. And that's why it's their mission is to make cybersecurity accessible, usable, and even enjoyable. So they work all together on interface design, user experience, flow, and accessibility. For every new feature or every new product, they design mock-up, they conduct user interviews, and they run usability tests. So one of their biggest challenge is this. Most of our users are not cybersecurity experts. So our solutions need to be extremely intuitive. For example, as I said before, we designed our cybersecurity academy platform. They had to find the right balance between educational content and engagement mechanism. How do you teach someone to spot phishing without overwhelming them with technical jargon, for example? So they also play a huge role in prevention, making sure the UI guide user towards secure behaviors. And that's why UX in cybersecurity, it's just not a design job. It's a behavioral science job. They have to understand our client, our daily task that they do in their cybersecurity tool, their challenge, and make it really more clear to guide every day our client in the product. So they don't have to be an expert of the filtering of email, but they have to understand what the client will look like every day on their tools to make it really clear. And it's one of my favorite team at name like. This is Séverine. Séverine is our financial controller. She oversees our accounting, financial reporting, budgeting, and strategy forecasting. She plays a key role in making sure that the company grows sustainably and that we invest wisely in R&D, hiring, and infrastructure. In a fast-growing tech company like Men in Black, the financial must be agile and sharp because they deal with investors, they prepare board meeting, they track performance indicator across the team. So cybersecurity, it's also a sector that requires a lot of compliance and certification management, which Severin helps coordinate with auditors. So her role is a mix of strategic vision, operational control, and risk management. Because yes, even in cyber, finance is a strategic role. So even if she is not a technical role, she has to understand the strategy on the market and of the company to help us to invest in different topics. And finally, let's meet Clara. She is our AI researcher, one of our AI female researcher, and she works in our internal AI lab, one of the most exciting and experimental teams at Made in Black. Her mission today is to explore how artificial intelligence can help us to better detect threats, personalize protection, and simulate attacks that feels real. So she works closely with our cybersecurity expert and product team to design an algorithm that improve user protection while respecting privacy and ethics. For example, she works on models that adapt trainings exercise to a user risk profile or on improving phishing detection by analyzing linguistic patterns in the email. But she's not just about building cool models. Clara has to ensure that her work is explainable, robust, and aligned with the real world usage. She often deals, for example, with questions like how can we prevent false positive that frustrate user, or how can AI adapt to constantly changing attack patterns, or how do we stay compliant with GDPR when analyzing behavioral data. So her role is highly technical and deeply human because at the end of the day, she is not training machines, she is building trust with our clients. Yes, someone is trying to speak.
Um, if you want to speak, please raise a hand and we will have some time later on for that. I guess
Mistake.
it's good. Yeah.
Okay. So Clara was the last one. Thank you very much for listening. In conclusion, I hope this gave you a richer view of what working in cybersecurity can look like and how many paths career are here for women with many different talents. If you're curious, if you love learning, if you want to have a real impact, there is absolutely a place for you in this field. And what I want to say today is that cybersecurity it's not just a growing industry, it's an urgent one. And even every year, cyber attacks become more sophisticated, and every organization, from hospital to school to startup, needs to protect itself. And that's why cybersecurity companies like Mailing Black, but many other, are hiring across all kind of roles. We need developers, yes, but we also need product manager, UX designer, marketers, data scientists, trainers, customer success expert, and operational profiles. And we need more women because diverse teams build better products and ask better questions and create safer, more inclusive technologies. So if you're at the beginning of your journey or thinking about career shift, it's a great time to explore opportunities. Don't wait to feel ready as me or qualified as me, because the best way to start is to connect, ask questions, and stay curious. So feel free to ask your question, to reach me on LinkedIn if you don't want to talk here. And whenever it's at Mailing Black or another cybersecurity solution provider, I'm sure everyone will be happy to help you and to find the door to push open. Yes, Anna Maria, you have a question?
I do,
Um,
Cassie. Thank you so much, first of all, for the very interesting, insights into the various colleagues that you have, and especially these non-technical roles. And also seeing, comments from others about, legal and regulatory and all that. One of the areas that actually I realized more and more recently that is so much needed, and I'm wondering if it is present in your company, is someone with a psychology background, because I really feel that both in training, and especially we were talking about phishing, and it's really the most known, and 90%. I saw a recent statistic somewhere around 90% of cyber security breaches are due somehow to a phishing attack, and that very much sort of leverages the human emotion and the psychology and the emotions and so on. To what extent there are really psychology experts involved or more actively involved in your company or in the sector? Because I didn't find too many, for example, for this careers guide that I have been preparing recently and trying to show some role models with different kind of perspectives.
Yes, definitely. You are right. At Men in Black, we are working with a neuroscientific expert because it's a man. We had a girl before, but now we have a lot of men in this field. But yes, it's another career path in the cybersecurity industry because we are talking about humans. So we are talking about how the cyber attacks are spread in the company, and 90% of time it's by a human. So there is a lot of documentation about this to understand what led the people click on the link. And we have worked on it at Mailing Black, and it showed that there is like different way, like if you are stressed, if you are back off your holidays, if you are looking for curiosity or thing like that, will lead you to click on phishing link, for example. So yes, psychology, it's getting more and more important because it's not about um, uh, a war against a machine. It's a war against the human, and we have to understand the psychology of the people to stop the cyber attacks. So yes, it's a huge way of working at cybersecurity.
Thank you so
uh,
much.
Thank you, Anne-Marie, and thank you, Cassie. So we're taking now questions. So everyone, please raise your hand if you have a question. And also, if you're not comfortable asking or speaking, you can just write down your question and we will go through them. There is an interesting one. Luna said that in their team, uh, they have a colleague who holds a PhD in psychology, and it's a big factor and effective. That's very interesting. So, since I don't see uh, questions written, I have two questions myself. Then I'm going to go first with the raised hand. So, yes, please, Delia. You can unmute yourself and go ahead. And then we
You
have,
can hear me and
yeah, we can
Yes.
hear
see me
you.
Hi,
properly.
Delia.
Yes.
And we can see you
Um,
too.
Thank you very much for your presentation. It was very interesting. I was wondering if in your team you also have someone dealing with cybersecurity, but combined with the legal aspects. Because, for example, as I've been seeing in my current position in the company I'm working in, I'm a cybersecurity legal consultant, which means that I have to interpret and analyze European Union legislative acts such as the now ongoing tsunami, such as NIS2 directive that has to
Yes.
be transposed, and everyone is just demanding it very much, such as, for example, the Cyber Resilience Act, Cybersecurity Act, Cyber Solidarity Act. And my role actually is trying to make the shift from understanding, translating the European Union Legislative Act with focus on cybersecurity into practical and strategic actions for companies, not only for our external clients, as well as, for example, internally. So, for example, I also give trainings and I try to, since I have a legal background, that's my actual job. And I was wondering if in your team, you also have a legal department dealing with all the cybersecurity aspects that are right now everywhere in all the legislative acts that have been
Yes.
entering into force.
Yes, it's a good question because I didn't mention it, but we have two external departments. We have one for our CISO, for our own CISO, and we have another one for the legal. For the legal, so it's an external team, and it's three girls also, and they are helping us every month with all the legal aspects. So for the contract, but also to understand the new regulation for us, but also for our clients. So they provide tips to our clients. So they are working with the communication department to create content to inform our own clients, but they also create content for us. Each month we have a monthly meeting where they will explain us the movement on the regulation and regulation across France, but across Europe, and how the company can take these new opportunities, because for us NIS2 and IS2 it's an opportunity to provide solution with this legal acceptation. So yes, we are using it, but externally, maybe because our size it's middle, we have 1000 and no, sorry, 120 employees today. So maybe because our size is a little bit not bigger today to have our own legal department, but we will one day.
Also, as you were saying about NIS2, if I'm not mistaken, in France it hasn't been transposed yet.
Yeah.
As you said, it is an opportunity, but I want just to remind maybe everyone, maybe also to those that do not know the directive itself. It has to be transposed international law because it is not a regulation, such as, for example, the GDPR, which has a direct applicability in all member states. And yes, it is an opportunity. It is a member state's obligation, which means that entities, private entities, such as, for example, yours, are not required yet
Yes.
to be compliant with NIS2 requirements and ISO or the CIFAN, which is a Belgian framework. But as soon as it will be entered into force, everyone will be extremely impatient on all the requirements that have to be taken. And it,
Mm.
as for example, we are doing in our company, we have already started before that the NISO directive was transposed into national law. It is mandatory for everyone to have a proactive approach in cybersecurity because you cannot be never in the situation where you think that an attack will not happen to you, to your organization. The only thing that you must do it is training, raise awareness, take all the cybersecurity requirements in a proactive approach in order to know how you will respond
Mm.
with your with your business continuity plan when this will happen. Um, so yeah, thank you very much for your presentation. It was very very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Delia. I think Shampa also had a question. If you could please unmute yourself and go ahead with your question. Shampa, do you?
Hi,
Okay,
can you hear me?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, thank you. I actually want to ask for advice, not like a question. As I mentioned, like I'm a student in cybersecurity, and currently I'm in Germany. And for last 6 7 months, like I have been looking for part-time jobs or like internship, both like locally or internationally, in the cybersecurity field, like both in technical cybersecurity and non-technical cybersecurity field. But unfortunately, I haven't received any offer or anything. I understand like one thing here in Europe is the problem is like the language barrier. But I see that in many posts or LinkedIn that there are many jobs, but when I'm applying in the field, I'm hardly getting any opportunity. So, do you have any advice for me, like how I can do better in this and get something in the field? Thank you.
Um, yes, the language barrier is often a problem, especially in France because we are not good with English. But my advice would be to join a big company. For example, in my previous job, I was working in a consulting firm, which was Wavestone, and Wavestone it's a consulting firm. And I was working in a IT strategy consulting department, but we had a big a cybersecurity department, and we had a lot of students who spoke English in this department because we addressed big accounts where they use to work in English. So my advice would be to go through big companies or big scale-up companies. For example, in Israel right now, there is a lot of cybersecurity, really nice tech companies, and they hire a lot of students working in English and people who can write and speak in English. So my advice would be that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Shampa. Does anyone else want to take a moment, ask a question? So we have a question from Alexi. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Are any of the people that work on the non-technical roles in the company of a cyber security background? I think you mean
Yes.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
yes.
Yes. I mean, from the people you presented, the ones that work on not the UI and UX design or the AI, are they of a cybersecurity background, as in their studies or a previous career path or something?
No, not at all. And I was really surprised that some students in cybersecurity were here today because there is not like cybersecurity education in every school. It should be. But it means that when you begin your journey in a company, you don't know everything about cybersecurity. So, for example, at Mailing Black, during your first 2 weeks of onboarding, we will train you with e-learning, with regulation and everything to be up and running in 2 weeks. But on the market, the people who are looking for a job don't have like cybersecurity background, and this is something that companies in cybersecurity knows, and they have to train you to be good on this point. And as I said, you don't have to be an expert. Like for example, Justine, she's not an expert, but today she can speak about all of product because we trained her on the cybersecurity market and this on the cybersecurity tools on the different providers, and now she knows everything. And this is what why I think it's really accessible because it's not difficult to understand, and it's something that everybody can understand. The system, it's not something really complex, not it it's like something that you can learn, and the company in cybersecurity, they will train you, and you have a lot of different content on internet to improve. It's not a skills, like cybersecurity is not a skills, it's a knowledge, and you can learn the skills at school, but you cannot learn the knowledge, and the knowledge you will learning on the job.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so anyone else wants to go ahead with the question? Meanwhile, I'm waiting for someone to raise their hand. I have a question from my part. So, for someone interested in joining a cybersecurity company, but without a technical background, what are some meaningful entry points or entry roles they could explore? Um,
It's a good question. I think project management or product management, it's a good way to join cybersecurity company because it requires skills in project management. And you can manage projects across different industries. And if you know how to do it in another company, you will know how to do it in cybersecurity company. So those kind of job position are really good because in this field there is a lot of projects to manage, and you don't have to be an expert in cybersecurity. You just have to understand how manage the project, and then after, of course, understand the environment of cybersecurity. But we are more looking sometimes for special skills to manage projects better than understand the cybersecurity ecosystem.
we have Lisa. She wants to ask a question, and then I'm going to read two more questions. Lisa?
Hey, hello. You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm Lisa. So I'm from Belgium. Actually, I have technical background, but right now I work as a field service engineer. So basically, also in a big company, to be honest. But the point is, I'm very curious about cybersecurity for like several years already. But it's hard to say it's a lot of information on the internet, a lot of like trainings or certification, and yeah, it's crazy information, and it's so lost. Yeah, kind of, I don't know which to start, to be honest. Actually, my background actually is physics, but yeah, I'm really curious about cybersecurity, and I really want to go in that path, but it's hard to start. So it's there's advice or some sort of certification, or what kind of direction I should take, because to be honest, I also see a lot of people say, you need to be good at network, computer network knowledge as a base, or yeah, something more IT part. Also, I also kind of research a bit the job, how to say, the requirement. The job require a lot of times, computer science base or background. It's just, yeah, just hard to, I don't know how to convince people to start in that point, to apply that point,
Yeah, yeah.
entry level. Yeah. So
I,
that's my
I
question.
understand. Yes, I understand your point because you're right. When you start on the internet to learn about cybersecurity, it's really a huge world. So you have a lot of content. And I'm not the best to answer for the question about the the certification because I never done anyone. But where to start? I will say by the comprehension of the threats and the threat analysis, because it will give you a great overview of the different type of technology that they can use to attack a company or user, and the different way you can learn. And after, I will say it's better to start to work in one field. Like for example, in my career path, I choose to specialize in the email, and there is a lot of different way. And then after, move from another world every time you are bored, because you cannot be an expert of everything, and there is job for everything. So let's maybe find the thing that you are more passionate about. It can be the threats, it can be the computing part, or the connection, or internet, or the level of filtering cyber attacks. and then be an expert of that will lead you to have a good place on the market, because today it's really difficult for companies like us, or even for our clients, to find expert like on one topics. Everybody has like a complete approach of the cybersecurity, but when you have one topics, it's really difficult to hire someone who has a strong knowledge and technical knowledge on one point. Like for example, at Mailing Black, now we can see that there is a specific type of malware that it's spreading wisely on our client, and we are looking for a technical analyst who can help us with this special kind of threat. And nobody can help us because on the market, nobody is really specialized. So I will say, to have a great career path, if you're expert in something really precise, it can help you in Europe, I will say, to help companies.
Okay, understood. Wow, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Cassie. I have two more questions for you, Cassie. So, you've worked across different departments, right? From marketing to product. So, what are some skills that you found valuable across all functions in cybersecurity companies? Something that was with you and worked really well across the roles that you've been through.
Good questions. Also, I will say the project management, because in every position that I had in the company, I had to deal with different expertise to lead project, and this is something that if you have it, if you are well organized and you know how to deliver with a roadmap and schedules the different meeting and everything, it's something that you can bring with you everywhere in the industry. Um, so sometimes in cybersecurity, you need to manage with complex projects, and this is skills that I had from my school. It's how to manage complex projects, and it's something that you can bring with you every day. If it's to discover how to train a new deep learning machine, to find a new AI model, or to launch a new product on a new market, you will have to train these skills, like how to streamline a project, how to deal with budget, and how to make it real. And this is something that followed me across all the function in the cybersecurity companies.
Thank you so much. So, we have Maria. Maria, you have a question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation. And also, I would like to ask you one question. I saw in your presentation that you started in a not technical position and then you changed it. So can anybody start in a cybersecurity field with a not non-technical position and then jump a on a more specific or technical part of it? Is it easy? Is it something that companies want? It, my question is like, is it possible, and how the industry responds to this change?
Okay. So first, for me, it was a choice. I wanted to have like more marketing career or career after all, and I think the best thing I've made is to start my journey with a consulting company, because in the consulting company, I've worked with, I would say, 20 companies in 4 years. So I saw a lot of different IT departments, IT strategy, or different type of firms, which has helped me to be more reliable and more expert on the market when I joined the cybersecurity side. The cybersecurity department are often curious about profile that I've seen a lot of different other companies. And this was really great for me because I was able to talk about so many different type of IT department and challenge. So it helps a lot in the industry to help them because even if it's not new, cybersecurity, it's still something that it's moving a lot. So the community is talking a lot to each other, and they like when they have people who have changed a lot in their career, and they have seen a lot of different company, technical or not technical. It's not a problem.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So we have 5 minutes left. If you have a question, raise your hand. Now is the time. Meanwhile, I have one last question for you, Cassie. So, what role has the mentorship played in your own career development? And do you think companies should invest more in mentoring young professionals and mentoring women in specific? What do you think?
So what role has mentorship played? It was huge because, as I said, when I joined the Men in Black company, I was like a novice, and what I've done is text everybody on LinkedIn. So I've tried to like expert in email filtering, expert in education, and I've texted directly in LinkedIn to people that I didn't know, and I was really surprised because it was really open, and I've met a lot of people on LinkedIn who has helped me to understand better the challenge that I'm facing with. And it was a kind of mentoring because I've met like I have some good friends right now that I've never met in real life, but they have helped me a lot because I was young and I was a woman, and a young woman in cybersecurity, it's already a challenge. But they have helped me a lot to feel more comfortable, more expert in my field. So yes, I think companies should invest or at least lead the way to help women to find not especially mentorship, but more people that they can rely on where when they have difficulties. Because in cybersecurity, it's difficult to find the expertise inside the company, and it's often outside. So you have to go to talk to different people in the industry to become more strong in your expertise. So yes, companies should invest a lot, especially on women, because we always feel more insecure about our expertise than men. It's proven, and we should not. So we should talk to each other to become more strong together.
Goodbye.
All right, thank you so much. And what I wanted to say is exactly what you were trying to say is that mentorship and creating also the sense of solidarity and community between women in the field is very important and very vital. Just so you would not feel lost, and just like you would feel, there are people also that feel the same way that I feel. Like you said, I'm young, or I'm just entering, or I don't have the technical background, or I'm just a woman in a field dominated by men. So that's amazing to see. So for Lisa, for example, Lisa, you said earlier that you're a bit lost. Also, we provide the mentorship program. We have one that is closed now for registration, but we always have the mentorship programs that are across Europe. That's one of the projects that we work on. And I just want to say again, thank you so much, Cassie, and for all the people here, thank you so much. And I'm so grateful for you giving me 1 hour of your time and being here, and where I see that we're creating this community, and I am happy to see you each time in these webinars. Our webinars are going to be here each time we have a new host, a new topic. So for next webinar, it's going to be a very technical heavy one, but in a way that also very interesting. So I'll see you in the next one. Next one is on the 30th. Again, Cassie, thank you. I'll leave you the last word.
Thank you very much. If you have any question, do not hesitate. I'm here on LinkedIn if you want to talk. and good luck for your career. And I hope you will find something that suits you in cybersecurity.
Thank you. Of course, always connect on LinkedIn and see you soon, ladies. Have a good evening and bye to the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, Cassie.
You're welcome. I hope it was great.
Maybe we will have a future collaborations. I wish you a wonderful Easter and a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You too, Manel. Bye.
Bye.